Hi, welcome to PW Holdings, authorized partner for Sage Business Cloud Accounting with Sage Asia.
Company details. Company, change company settings, company details. You can enter company details in company details section. Enter company name, telephone, fax, mobile, contact name, postal address and physical address. These details will display in documents such as invoice, quotation, purchase order, credit note, receipt, etc. Email. Use this email for communication. When you are sending emails, this email address will display in customers or suppliers inbox as from address. Use no reply at accounting.sage1.my. If you select this option, no reply at accounting.sage1.my will show as from address in all communication emails. If you enter an email address in CC and tick on Always CC this email address, a copy of all communication email sent to CC address. Additional company information. Statutory information. You can enter your company tax numbers, registered name, company registration number, tax office, and select entity type. Additional company information. You can enter city, state, and country. Major industry codes. Different countries has different industry codes. This can be referred to your government authority. Major industry code is optional. If you want, you can keep it blank.
Customer Zone. Customer Zone is a special feature in Sage Business Cloud Accounting. Customer Zone allows your customers to view customer statement online by clicking a link in their email. This gives your customers the most up-to-date information, including their account history. Setting up the customer zone. Company, change company settings, customer zone. Check the Enable Your Accounting Customer Zone checkbox. Invoices only. Your customers will be able to view their invoices online. Your customers can print their invoices. Invoices and account history. Your customers will be able to view their invoices online, print their invoices. Your customers will also be able to check their account history, quotations, sales orders, credit notes, and payments. Setting up your customer settings. You will have to set up your customers so that they would be able to view online. To access this function, go to Customers List. To allow the customer to view invoices online, check the Allow this customer to view invoices online checkbox.
General settings. Financial settings. You can create financial years from this screen by clicking green plus button. You can change financial year start date and end date. If your financial year is 1st of January to 31st of December, you can enter financial year start as 1st of January and financial year end as 31st of December. Tick on current financial year. Note: Sage Business Cloud Accounting does not require any year-end process. Only thing is you need to create a new financial year. When your financial year ends, system will pop up an alert to create a new financial year. By accepting to create a new financial year, you can create a new financial year, or from general settings you can create a new financial year. Lockdown date. If you activate a lockdown date, no transactions can be processed or edited before that date. You can minimize data entry errors by activating lockdown date. After your year end, you can set last financial year end date as lockdown date. Then users cannot process backdated transactions. Rounding. You can set accounting to round customer documents values. To do this, choose the type of rounding you wish to use and then specify the amount to round to. Regional settings. Quantity decimal places. From quantity decimal places, you can increase or decrease quantity decimal places in transaction documents and reports. Value decimal places. From value decimal places, you can increase or decrease number of value decimal places in transaction documents and reports. Hours decimal places. From hours decimal places, you can increase or decrease number of decimal places of hours in transactions documents and reports. Currency symbol. You can enter preferred symbol which should display in documents and reports. For example, in Sri Lanka, you can use rupees or LKR. Date format. You can select preferred date format. Customer and supplier settings. By ticking or unticking, you can activate or deactivate following attributes. If you activate warn when duplicate customer reference used on customer invoices, system will alert for duplicate references. If you activate warn when duplicate supplier invoice number used on supplier invoices, system will alert for duplicate supplier invoice numbers. If you activate display inactive customers for selection when processing, system will display inactive customers when processing transactions. If you deactivate, system will not display inactive customers for invoicing. If you activate display inactive customers for selection on reports, system will display inactive customers in report generation. If you deactivate, system will not display inactive customers in reports. If you activate display inactive suppliers for selection when processing, system will display inactive suppliers when processing transactions. If you deactivate, system will not display inactive suppliers for transactions. If you activate display inactive suppliers for selection on reports, system will display inactive suppliers in report generation. If you deactivate, system will not display inactive suppliers in reports. If you activate use inclusive processing on customer or supplier document by default, system will use inclusive amounts when processing transactions. If you activate use account as default document line type selection, system will display account as type when processing transactions. Item settings. Warn when item quantities fall below zero. If you tick this, system will display an alert when item quantity fall below zero. Do not allow item quantities below zero. If you tick this, system will not allow to process customer invoices when item quantities below zero. Note: you can't activate both two at once. You can activate only one option. Warn when item cost is zero. If you tick this, system will display an alert when item cost is zero. Warn when item selling price is below cost. If you tick this, system will display an alert when selling price is below an item cost. Display inactive items for selection on document lines. If you tick on this, inactive items also display for invoicing. If you are not invoice deactive or discontinue items, untick this. Display inactive items for selection on reports. If you tick on this, inactive items also displaying in the report. If you want to display inactive items in the report, you can tick on this. If you want to exclude inactive items from the report, untick on this. Sales orders reserve item quantities. If you active this, item quantities in sales orders will be reserved. If you enter sales orders, those items cannot sell for other customers. Display inactive item bundles for selection on document lines. If you tick on this, inactive item bundles also display for invoicing. If you are not invoice deactive or discontinue items, untick this. Time tracking settings. Display inactive projects for selection on document lines. If you tick this, inactive projects will display in invoice. Timesheet lockdown date. Setting a lockdown date means that no timesheets can be processed or edited with the date up to and including this date. Outstanding balances. Customer and supplier aging can work monthly or based on the number of days from the date of the invoice. Aging is found on the days outstanding reports, statements, and the days outstanding graph on the dashboard. If you tick on monthly, display unpaid invoices outstanding by calendar month. For example, if you invoice in 1st of April, after 30th April, outstanding will display in the reports. If you untick, outstanding will calculate on actual days. Run aging based on. If you select due date, aging will based on invoice date plus credit period. If you select invoice date, aging will based on invoice date only. Personal information. Choose how many years you would like to retain personal information. If Inland Revenue specify that accounting records needs to be retained for 5 years, you can select 5 years in retention period.
Tax settings. From tax setting, you can create tax rates. Go to Company, change Company settings, Tax settings. If your company does not register for VAT, select No tax. If you are VAT registered company, select Invoice-based GST. Enter VAT registered number. Enter last tax period end date. Enter tax submission date. Enter tax period frequency. If you are paid VAT monthly, enter 1. If you are paid VAT quarterly, enter 3. You can add tax rates by clicking green plus button. Enter tax name, enter tax code. You can set mostly used tax rate as default. By clicking red minus button, you can remove tax rates. Click Save button for save tax rates. Save. After creating tax rates, you can link to the customer, supplier, items, and GL accounts. Link tax rates to customer. Go to Customers, List of customers, open the customer. Enter customer tax number. Select customer tax rate. Link tax rates to supplier. Go to Suppliers, List of suppliers. Open the supplier, enter supplier tax number, select supplier tax rate. Save. Link tax rates to items. Go to Items, List of items. Open the item. Select tax rate for sales. Select tax rate for purchases. Save. Note: if you have not set a tax rate for customer, when you are invoicing, item tax rate will apply for the invoice. If you have not set a tax rate for supplier, when you are entering supplier invoice item, purchase tax rate will apply for the invoice. Link tax rates to GL accounts. Go to Accounts, List of accounts. Open account. Select the tax rate. Save. Tax reports. Reports, tax, view report. You can view output, input tax report in detailed and summary report, and tax payable or refundable. This report you can export to PDF, Excel or CSV. Also print or email. After tax report submission, you can close the tax period. Note: after close the tax period, you cannot edit the tax invoices. If you want to edit the close period tax invoices, first open the tax period, then edit the tax invoice. Tax payment. You can enter tax payment from bank transactions. Go to Banking, Transactions, Banking. Select the bank account. Enter date, payee and description. Select type from tax. Select tax period. Enter reference and payment amount. Save.
Documents and statements. Statement messages. When you print customer statements, each statement shows the customer's outstanding balances. You can also include a message on the statement depending on the customer's overdue status. This message prints when the customer's oldest balance is. Document numbers. You can set document numbers from here. Current document number will display under Current document number. If you want to change the document number, you can set under New document number. From next transaction, new document number will allocate to the document. Document description. You can set up a name to specify what will print on each document. The original name prints the first time you print the document. The copy name will be used if you reprint the document. Customer document messages. You can enter a default message that prints on each type of customer document. This message can be changed while processing. Supplier document messages. You can enter a default message that prints on each type of supplier document. This message can be changed while processing. Invoices and statements. You can select a default document layout. You can set a default document layout while creating customer or supplier and can be changed while processing.
Branding. You can display your company logo in your system documents such as invoice, quotation, receipt, purchase order, etc. Set company logo. Company. Change company settings. Branding. Click on the Choose File button to search for your logo. You can also choose whether to include your logo on emails and the customer zone. Click on the Preview button to view your logo on an invoice.
User-defined fields. You can create additional fields to enter additional details of customer, supplier, item, asset and document and transactions. Customer user-defined fields. You can create 3 text values, 3 numeric values, 3 yes or no values and 3 date values for customers. Supplier user-defined fields. You can create 3 text values, 3 numeric values, 3 yes or no values, and 3 date values for suppliers. Item user-defined fields. You can create 3 text values, 3 numeric values, 3 yes or no values, and 3 date values for items. Asset user-defined fields. You can create 3 text values, 3 numeric values, 3 yes or no values, and 3 date values for asset. Document user-defined fields. You can create 3 text fields and 3 date fields for customer quotation. You can create 3 text fields and 3 date fields for supplier purchase order. You can create 3 text fields and 3 date fields for customer sales order. You can create 3 text fields and 3 date fields for supplier invoice. You can create 3 text fields and 3 date fields for customer tax invoice. You can create 3 text fields and 3 date fields for supplier return. You can create 3 text fields and 3 date fields for customer credit note.
Email signatures. The Email Signatures tab allows you to create different email signatures for documents that you will email from Sage Business Cloud Accounting. Company. Change company settings. Email signatures. Add signature. Enter name for email signature. Select type. You can design email signature by clicking Insert Placeholder. Save. You can design email signatures for quotation, invoices, credit note, recurring invoice, customer statement, and sales order. Multi-currency. Multi-currency is an add-on module which allows companies to price any goods or services in foreign currencies. For example, United States dollar or British pound, etc. Setting up multi-currency. Companies must have multi-currency enabled under company settings in order to use this functionality. To activate multi-currency, select Company, change Company settings, select Multi-currency tab. Select the Enable Multi-currency checkbox to activate multi-currency. You are also required to select your home currency in the Select Your Home Currency drop-down menu. Click on Save button to activate multi-currency. Setting up other currencies. Once you have activated multi-currency and selected your home currency, you can then create or set up other currencies. Click on the Add Currency button to create a new currency. Select the currency that you wish to add and click on the Add button. Click on the Save button to save your changes. Note: you cannot change your home currency after you have processed transactions in foreign currencies. Editing a currency. You are able to change the exchange rate for a currency by clicking on the Edit link next to the currency. If you want to add your own customized exchange rate, select the New Custom Exchange Rate option. Enter the dates that you want Sage Business Cloud Accounting to use for the customized exchange rate and enter the new exchange rate. Click on the Update button to save the custom exchange rate. Enabling multi-currency on master files. The following master files will have a multi-currency option: customers, suppliers, bank accounts. Once a master file has been assigned a currency and has activity, you will be unable to change. Setting up multi-currency in a customer. Your customers have to be linked to a foreign currency. Otherwise, you will not be able to trade correctly in the system. To create a multi-currency customer, select Customers, Add a customer. Select the currency for the customer. After currency is selected, the other field will automatically change to the selected currency. The exchange rate on your opening balance date will be used to convert your opening balance into home currency. Setting up multi-currency in a supplier. Your suppliers have to be linked to the foreign currencies. Otherwise, you will not be able to trade correctly in the system. To create a multi-currency supplier, select Supplier, Add a supplier. Select the currency for the supplier. After currency is selected, the other fields will automatically change to the selected currency. The exchange rate on your opening balance date will be used to convert your opening balance into home currency. Setting up multi-currency in a bank account. If your company trades with a foreign bank account, you need to create foreign bank account. To create a multi-currency bank account, select banking, add a bank or credit card. In the currency field, select the currency that the bank account must be processed in. Processing multi-currency on documents. You will process as normal in Sage Business Cloud Accounting. Select the foreign customer or supplier. You will notice that an extra field will be displayed on the processing document. When processing in the lines, there is a home currency column displaying the amount processed in your home currency. The total home field will also display the document total in home currency. Other important information. When a foreign currency customer or supplier is selected, then the multi-currency fields will become available. These should not display for home customers and suppliers. The customer or supplier balance and credit limit will display the correct currency symbol. Item selling prices and item cost will be converted into foreign currency on the documents using the exchange rate in effect on the document. Item average cost and last cost will be updated with the converted home currency value of the item on the document. Multi-currency reporting. Financial reports and most other accounting reports have the foreign currency ability where you can convert the total amount into home currency. Most of the reports will pull through multi-currency for your specific foreign customers or suppliers. For more details, please log into www.pwholdings.lk. Thank you.